Most people wake up and let the day happen to them. They check their phone before their feet even touch the floor. They scroll through everyone else's updates. They react to messages that weren't even meant to set the tone for their morning. And by the time they actually sit down to work toward their own goals, half the day is already gone, and so is most of their energy. But successful people operate differently. They understand something most people never learn, that the first hour of your day isn't just the start of your schedule, it's the foundation of your entire life. What you do before 7 a.m. often determines what kind of day you're going to have, long before the actual work even begins. Today I want to walk you through 5 habits that successful people build into their mornings before 7 a.m., long before the rest of the world even gets started. And I want to explain not just what these habits are, but why they work. The first habit is this. They wake up with intention, not with alarm-driven panic. Think about how most people actually experience their alarm. It goes off, and immediately there's an internal negotiation. 5 more minutes. Just 1 more snooze. I'll get up after this next alarm. This negotiation happens almost every single morning for most people, and it might seem harmless, but here's what it actually does. It teaches your mind, from the very first moment of the day, that your decisions are negotiable, that your commitments can be pushed back, that discipline is optional if you're tired enough. Successful people flip this completely. They treat their wake-up time as a decision they made the night before, not a battle they fight every morning. The moment their eyes open, there's no debate. There's no snooze button conversation. They simply get up, because they already decided the night before that this is what today requires. And here's the deeper lesson in this. How you handle the very first decision of your day sets the tone for how you'll handle every decision after it. If you can talk yourself out of getting up, you can talk yourself out of anything. The second habit is that they move their body before they touch their phone. Think about how most mornings actually go for the average person. Eyes open, hand reaches for the phone, and within 60 seconds the mind is already flooded with everyone else's opinions, everyone else's updates, everyone else's version of what matters today. A message from a coworker creates stress before breakfast. A headline creates anxiety before the sun is even fully up. A social media post creates comparison before you've even had a chance to think your own thoughts. Successful people protect that first window fiercely. Whether it's a short walk outside, some stretching, a full workout, or simply a few minutes of intentional movement, they give their body and mind a chance to wake up on their own terms before the outside world gets a vote in how they feel. There's also a physical reason this matters. Movement early in the day increases blood flow, wakes up the nervous system, and creates a sense of accomplishment before the day has even officially started. You've already done something today before most people have even opened their eyes. The third habit is that they plan the day instead of reacting to it. Before checking messages, before opening email, before letting anyone else's priorities enter their mind, they take a few minutes to identify what actually matters today. Not the 50 small tasks that feel urgent, not the notifications demanding immediate attention, but the 2 or 3 things that would make today genuinely count if nothing else got done. This is the real difference between being busy and being productive. Busy people react to whatever lands in front of them, jumping from one urgent-feeling task to the next, ending the day exhausted but unsure what they actually accomplished. Successful people decide in advance what deserves their attention, and just as importantly, what doesn't. They understand that saying yes to everything is really saying no to what matters most. A day without a plan is a day that belongs to whoever demands your attention loudest, and that's rarely the thing that actually moves your life forward. The fourth habit is that they do the hardest task first, while their energy and focus are at their peak. Most people save the difficult work for later, telling themselves they'll get to it after checking a few emails, after 1 more coffee, after they feel ready, after they've eased into the day. But here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Ready never actually comes. The feeling of being fully prepared and fully motivated is a myth that keeps people waiting instead of starting. Successful people understand that willpower functions like a battery. It's fullest in the morning and drains as the day goes on, worn down by decisions, interruptions, and small frustrations. So they tackle the task that requires the most discipline, the most focus, the most courage, while that discipline is easiest to access. By the time most people are just getting warmed up, successful people have already completed the one task that would have derailed their entire day if left for later. And the fifth habit is that they invest in themselves before they give their energy away to everyone else. This might be 15 minutes of reading something that sharpens their thinking, a few minutes of quiet reflection, reviewing their goals to stay connected to why they're doing any of this in the first place, or simply sitting with their own thoughts without any distraction pulling at their attention. Before answering to clients, coworkers, family members, or a phone full of notifications, they make sure they've given something to themselves first. This isn't selfishness, it's sustainability. Because if you spend your entire morning giving your energy to everyone else's priorities, you'll reach the end of the day having built someone else's life instead of your own. You'll have answered every question except the one that matters most. Am I actually moving toward the life I say I want? Now here's something important to understand about these 5 habits. None of them are complicated. None of them require special equipment, expensive courses, perfect circumstances, or some rare form of natural discipline that only certain people are born with. What they require is a decision to stop letting the first hour of your day happen by accident, and to start treating it as the most valuable hour you have. Success was never about doing extraordinary things. It was always about doing ordinary things, consistently, before anyone else was willing to. The people who build extraordinary lives aren't doing something magical in their mornings. They're simply doing the basic things, waking with intention, moving their body, planning with purpose, tackling hard work first, and investing in themselves, over and over, on days when it's easy and on days when it's the last thing they feel like doing. And that consistency is really the whole secret, if there even is one. Anyone can wake up early once. Anyone can have one productive morning when motivation happens to show up. The real separation happens over months and years, when these 5 habits stop being something you have to remind yourself to do, and start becoming simply who you are. That's when mornings stop requiring willpower altogether, because discipline has quietly turned into identity. So tomorrow, before 7 a.m., before the phone, before the noise, before the world hands you its agenda and asks you to react to it, ask yourself honestly which of these 5 habits you're willing to start with. You don't need all 5 at once. Pick one, master it, let it become automatic, then add the next one. Because the version of you that you're trying to become is built in the mornings you show up for, not the ones you sleep through, and not the ones you promise yourself you'll start tomorrow.